on his own terms, but at home, things were unraveling. His marriage to Tori Skipper had grown increasingly volatile, weighed down by constant arguments and deep fractures in trust. After 8 years together, the relationship finally collapsed, and they filed for divorce in 2011. Before the dust even settled, he began dating Iniko Parrish, a relationship that would later draw public attention of its own. And on the career side, Hollywood was finally calling again. He landed a role in Think Like a Man, a romantic comedy centered on 4 couples navigating love and trust. The film was a surprise box office smash, grossing over $96 million on a $12 million budget, and it proved Kevin wasn't just a stand-up star. He could deliver impressive numbers on the big screen. But even with a blockbuster film and a new romance, Kevin was quietly spiraling. In his memoir, I Can't Make This Up, Life Lessons, he admitted, "As my career soared, my relationship with alcohol worsened. Money was coming in, but it was quickly being spent on drugs and alcohol. Eventually, this bad habit caught up with him. In April 2013, he was arrested for driving under the influence after speeding dangerously on the highway and nearly crashing into a gas tanker.
I pulled over last night, gave me the whole test, passed the test. Officer then gave me the breathalyzer. Failed the breathalyzer. I said, look, it's fine, I'm drunk. I get it. Do what you gotta do.
He was sentenced to 3 years of probation and ordered to complete a 3-month alcohol education program. In the celebrity world, drinking is often brushed off as a byproduct of fame, so the incident did little to slow his momentum. Just 2 months later, Kevin released his 4th comedy special, Let Me Explain, where he opened up about the DUI, his kids, and his divorce. He'd built his career on personal storytelling, often turning his own flaws into punchlines. But by this point, a big chunk of his act centered on his failed marriage. One standout bit had him portraying his ex-wife Tori as jealous and controlling, mimicking her voice, and even joking about her hiding in his car trunk to catch him cheating.
True story, people. That's exactly what I do. Get in the shower, get dressed, get in my car, start driving to the store. On the way to the store, I hit a speed bump. When I hit the speed bump, I hear a lot of noise in the trunk. Boom! Boom-doom! Boom! That's weird. I ain't put shit in the trunk. The fuck is all that noise in a goddamn trunk? I'm small. I get scared fast. So, I get out the car, I pop the trunk. This is some true shit. I pop the trunk. When I pop the trunk, this bitch was stooped down in a trunk like this, looking at me.
The crowd ate it up, and the special was a commercial success. But not everyone was convinced about Kevin. A few voices in the comedy world began openly questioning his style and credibility. One of the loudest came in 2014, when Mike Epps was asked in an interview which comedian he thought was overrated. And without hesitation, he named Kevin Hart.
One overrated comedian.
Kevin Hart.
He went on to say, "In this business right here, guess what? Sometimes marketing can be bigger than talent. This business is not about being funny. This business is about being forced on people. You can be forced on people, and then you can be really, really funny. If the business was based on being funny, wouldn't none of these suckers be in it?" Kevin didn't let this slide. He fired back on Twitter saying, "Just heard Mike Epps call me overrated this morning. I missed it because I was on set working. Do you remember what that is?" Then he added a warning. "Oh, and one more thing, Mike Epps. If you keep talking crazy, I'll book shows the same day as you, in the same cities, and shut you down." Mike simply responded saying, "Hollywood love indentured servants." It was a subtle jab, suggesting that Kevin's rise wasn't just about talent, but about playing the Hollywood game, saying yes to the right executives, and keeping the industry's power players happy. And Mike Epps wasn't the only one questioning Kevin's credibility. Comedian Aries Spears also took aim at him, suggesting Kevin leaned on writers, something Spears argued tarnished his reputation.
But to sit up there and have a team of motherfuckers helping write your jokes, how incredible, like, how much credit can you get for being incredible if that's not your train of thought? But if that's not your point of view, those aren't your thoughts, those aren't your words articulated and formulated to come out and make a motherfucker hunch over and hold their stomach and wipe their tear ducts because they dying because of what they hearing.
For Spears, if the words and point of view aren't entirely yours, the impact and the credit should be shared. But in Kevin's case, most of his material comes straight from his own life, his marriage, his relationships, making it the kind of content no outside writer can just fabricate.
My stand-up comedy is all self-based. I don't tell jokes. My kids, my life, my divorce, my school situation with my kids, my house situation, it's all personal. It's not something that I can go out and have writers come up with and bring back to me because it's my life.
He clarified further that those writers credited on his specials were just close friends who traveled with him and gave him feedback.
So when you're saying things on stage, hey, Kev, you know what else would be funny? Hey, Kev, you know what else you should do? Hey, look at this. What you think about this? Oh my God, that's funny. Oh yeah, I'm gonna add to that. You then become a team.
Still, even with that explanation, Kevin never quite got the stamp of respect in certain comedy circles, but that didn't stop him. In October 2016, he dropped another special called What Now and kept racking up box office wins. Ride Along, Get Hard, The Wedding Ringer, Central Intelligence, and Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. He was on a roll, but soon a pattern began to form in his roles, and it wasn't subtle. Most roles put him in the same position, the loud, fast-talking sidekick to a taller, more commanding lead. In Ride Along, he was the jittery brother-in-law to Ice Cube's stone-faced cop. In Get Hard, the quick-witted coach to Will Ferrell's clueless millionaire. In The Wedding Ringer, the slick, hyperactive best man for hire opposite Josh Gad's awkward groom. And in Central Intelligence, the formula was cemented. Dwayne Johnson got the heroic, muscle-bound spotlight, while Kevin played the frantic comic relief. That pairing carried straight into Jumanji, locking Kevin into a dynamic that became both his signature and his cage. And the longer it lasted, the more it seemed like Kevin was leaning into roles that exaggerated the insecurities he often joked about, masking them with loudness, especially the ones about his height.
You've had weird fan characters.
Well, what happens if you're 3'2"? I actually bought a picture of Kevin for you guys when he was 16 as well.
So same age.
Same age. There he is, yeah. He's doing this. I wish I was this tall, but I'll never get this tall.
According to Google, how tall is Kevin?
Well, I'll go for what I know. Yes. Legit answer, legit, because I know you're my best friend. 4'2".
It made people laugh and it sold tickets, so directors kept offering him the same role, and Kevin kept saying yes. But while those films kept him famous, they didn't necessarily bring him the status or artistic respect he craved. Kevin wanted ownership, legacy, and power, so he started branching out. His first big move was a partnership with Nike to release his own signature training shoes, the Hustle Hearts, making him the first comedian ever to do so. He dropped his own emoji keyboard, Kevmoji, which shot to #1 in the App Store, and he even moved into tech, investing in music, a startup creating smart headphones. None of these ventures were tied to comedy or film, and that was the point. It was about building a brand that could live beyond the stage or screen. Then came Laugh Out Loud, a digital comedy platform launched in partnership with Lionsgate. It featured sitcoms, stand-up, sketch shows, everything funny, all in one place. According to Kevin, it was built to shift power back to creators, but at its core, it was about something else entirely. Him finally getting to that seat where decisions are made. He said, "For me, it's about becoming a mogul, owning my own projects, and establishing myself as a funding producer. When you're your own brand and you're your own boss, the line of work changes. That's my biggest turn on." Kevin had gone from the comic trying to get through the door to the one holding it open for others. But just when it seemed like he couldn't put a foot wrong, the scandals began to surface. At around 5 a.m. on July 3rd, 2017, Kevin was photographed outside a Miami hotel with singer Monique Gonzalez. The two were seen laughing and smiling, alone in a car. Now at this time, Kevin was married to Iniko Parrish, the model he'd started dating several years prior, so both the timing and setting raised alarm bells. Tabloids ran with the photos, and rumors of Kevin cheating spread fast. Rather than address it seriously, Kevin posted a meme of himself laughing, brushing the story off like a joke. He deflected with humor before, like the famous bit about his wife hiding in the trunk to catch him cheating. But with real photos this time and the media driving a narrative, it planted a seed. That seed only grew the following month, when Iniko posted a photo celebrating their 1-year anniversary with a caption that read, "I love you more every day. 8 years together, 1 year married, forever to go." That detail sparked controversy. Kevin's divorce from his ex-wife Torre wasn't finalized until 2011, only 6 years earlier. If Iniko's 8 years together claim was accurate, it suggests their relationship began while he was still legally married. One Instagram user was quick to point this out, pointing the finger at Iniko for being the woman who came between Kevin and Torre, and ultimately the reason the marriage ended. Iniko was quick to respond, saying Torre knew about her all along. Their marriage was broken way before I came in the picture. They were separated, living in separate homes. I was never a secret. The Instagram user apologized, but then Iniko pushed things further, calling out Torre and accusing her of spreading lies. "It's no problem at all. I'm basically immune to it now. Those rumors were spread from her years ago because she wanted to play the victim and not own up to her wrongdoings as well. Singled me out as the mistress because we stuck, knowing damn well there were other women during their marriage." That's when Torre responded, telling Iniko to either speak the truth or not speak at all. Iniko, sweetheart, normally I don't feed into this, but when you addressed me, you forced my hand to respond or to be made out a liar. We've made successful strides